evening, everybody. We're back again at Edinburgh University, and this time it's for championship basketball. The Franklin Knights and the General McLane Lancers in the District 10 AAA boys basketball title game. Coach Larry Hawley rejoins us now courtside. Let's get a final word from our coach as to what he may have picked up down on the sidelines or by watching the warm-ups this evening.
Tim, this is pure electricity. McLane Fieldhouse is filled literally to the rafters. Both sides are excited. They're on their feet already. They're clapping. This could be the ball game of the year, and well, it is the ball game of the year to this point in the year. I did have a chance to talk to the Franklin assistant coaches. They are very concerned about David Polk going inside and getting offensive fouls, and they're not being called inside. So, Tim, that's something to look at here in pregame.
We're just about ready for the introduction of the starting lineups here at Edinburgh University. Each of these teams will now have played all three of their District 10 AAA playoff games this season right here in this building. And at McComb Fieldhouse, we'll be ready for the announcement of the starting lineups in a minute. Even though Edinburgh High School is about 3 miles up the road, rather General McLane High School is about 3 miles up the road outside of Edinburgh in McLane Township, this General McLane team will be considered the visiting team. You'll be noticing they'll be wearing their road red. Franklin came through the top half of the AAA brackets, General McLane the lower half, so when they bring it out to the right column, Franklin's on top, and in District 10, they are the home team. General McLane's starting lineup consists of number 24, a 5'10" junior guard, Dave Kushner, number 20, Josh Hargis, a 6-foot senior guard, last name spelled H-A-R-G-E-S-T. At the forward positions, Greg Doré, spelled D-O-R-E, a 6'1" junior, and David Polk, a 6'2" senior, number 33. Listen for that name throughout the ball game. The center, listed at 6'6", a senior, Chris Peters, number 34. The General McLane Lancers are coached by Andy Schultz. They're the Erie County League champions. Their record is 25-1. The Franklin Knights, 24-2, coached by Bill Hager. They're undefeated against Pennsylvania teams this year. And the starting lineup consists of Nathan Hager, a 6-foot junior guard. Also in the backcourt, number 44, Ryan Anderson, a 5'11" senior. In the forecourt, one of the forward positions, a 6'5" senior, number 50, John McLaughlin. At the other position, Nate Keith, a 6'3" senior, number 23. And the center, a 6'10" junior, number 54, that is Sam Williams. The Franklin Knights are the Tri-County Athletic Conference Division I champions and the defending District 10 AAA champions. They come in with a 16-game winning streak. They have beaten their last 46 straight District 10 opponents. Here's how they came into the championship game, starting with the quarterfinal round. Franklin beat Corey 70-54. McLane down Hickory 66-53. In the semifinals, it was Franklin 65, Grove City 41, and General McLane over Erie East by a score of 60-38. McLane's already out on the court. The Franklin Knights getting last-minute instructions from their coach. Larry, I don't know how long we're going to be able to sit down and cover this game, but I think for now we can sit back down. The crowd has settled back into their seats. That may last until the end of the first play.
I agree with you. I think we're going to be up and down this whole game, as are the fans. And as I said just a minute ago, the electricity is just simply unbelievable. And what a game to be able to see for both fans, McLane and the Franklin fans.
Fletcher, Clark, and Bollimer are officiating this game. Franklin will move left to right in the first half. It's Williams jumping against Peters at midcourt. And we're ready for championship basketball. The tip is up. The tip is controlled by General McLane. David Polk getting the ball just beyond the backcourt. Josh Hargis will set it up at the point. He'll pass it right. That's off to Kushner. Out to Polk, and he's called for traveling on the outside. Out beyond the right elbow, David Polk, a 6'2 senior, walks with the ball. Franklin will have possession for the first time this evening.
Another thing that we didn't get a chance to say, the Franklin coaches told the officials, watch for David Polk walking.
Baseline pass to John McLaughlin, 10-footer, missed. Rebound by Polk of General McLane. He is the all-time leading Lancer rebounder and their second leading scorer. He's approaching 1,600 career points, and he has nearly 1,400 career rebounds. He's a 4-year varsity starter. David Polk in the right corner. McLaughlin on him. Dishes outside to Peters. And Peters will hand off to Kushner. Now left it'll come to Doré. Greg Doré will take a couple of dribbles. He's defended by Nate Keith. Now Keith on the switch, taking Josh Hargis. Hargis hands to Polk, back to Josh Hargis. Hargis, the one-hander, does not go. Ball's loose. Franklin has it. Hager and Anderton going 2-on-1. Ryan Anderton taking the layup, and the foul is called. The layup is missed. No indication it's an offensive foul. Anderton may be going to the free throw line. The foul is on the General McLane Lancers. Well, they go just the opposite way with him. I'm not surprised by the call, but when the official, Dan Clark, who, by the way, is from an Erie County League community, did not go up with the hand behind the head, as most officials do immediately, we assumed it was a defensive foul. The foul goes against Ryan Anderton. And General McLane has the basketball. We have one Erie County League official, or one official from an ECL community. That's Clark. Rick Fletcher from Oil Cities, from a Tri-County Athletic Conference town. And then Bollimer, the third official, is from the Mercer County Athletic Conference. Here's Hargis out near the midcourt circle, looking to the right. Now passing off to the right. Kushner trying to get it to Peters. It's knocked away. Back to David Kushner. Now Polk is outside to help. Polk out to Hargis. We played a minute 47 seconds. No score yet. Kushner in the right corner. Out to Polk at the right wing. Call for the traveling. David Polk made the head fake. And the trailing official, Rick Fletcher, said he also shuffled his feet.
Well, that's twice now, so the coaches have done their job on the pregame as far as Polk catching him walking. It's too bad at Ryan Anderton. It wasn't a bad call. It's too bad he has that foul.
Hager scores for, no, Anderton scores for Franklin. I saw the 4 as he twisted his body toward us. It wasn't until we saw how he took the one-handed jumper that we knew it was Ryan Anderton, and David Polk loses the ball out of bounds.
McLane has 3 turnovers here in the very early minutes of the first quarter, and David Polk is responsible for all 3 of them, and it is good to see him get rattled early.
Franklin with a 2-0 lead, and the Knights have the basketball back. Here's Hager shooting. Hager missing from about 17 feet. Rebound taken away by Greg Doré of General McLane. Into the forecourt with the basketball, moving right to left, Josh Hargis of the Lancers. An unsuccessful pick attempt by Doré. Hargis still on the dribble. Back to Doré at the left wing. Outside to Kushner. He can shoot the three-pointer. This is from inside. It should be 2. It is a 2-point field goal for David Kushner, and we are tied at 2-2.
Good move left by Kushner that time, just inside the 3-point circle. He's not going to make all those.
Anderton for 3. Off the back iron, no good. McLaughlin free for the rebound and can't put it in. Now a foul will be called on John McLaughlin. I don't know whether Chris Peters got his hand on McLaughlin's arm or on the basketball, but he affected that layup from the right baseline following McLaughlin's offensive rebound to some extent. And then when Peters got the ball, McLaughlin tried to take it away and is called for his first foul.
Franklin has picked up their defense a little bit tighter. They're still probably 5 foot off the McLane guards bringing the ball up at this point in the game.
Hargest defended by Anderton to the left wing. It's DeRay. His pass to Peters nearly lost out of bounds. Peters around Williams, picked up by McLaughlin. Too strong on the layup. The ball is loose. Sam Williams goes and gets it, and he is nearly tackled from behind. In the National Football League, that would be a clip. 6'10" junior Sam Williams goes down. The only problem with Sam is he needs to tie his shoe. The foul on Chris Peters, the General McLane center, in the backcourt. First whistle for a foul against the Lancers. And, of course, it's Peters first. 4:33 left in the first quarter. We're in a 2-2 ball game. Anderton has scored for the Knights. Kushner has scored for the Lancers.
As to be expected, Tim, very early, I'm not surprised about this. Both teams are extremely tight. They're nervous. We've missed one layup underneath. They've missed one layup underneath. And I would expect now the adrenaline has kicked in. They're into the ball game, both teams. I look for Franklin to be able to pick some things up. And we have Bundy Fulmer coming into the ball game for Sam Williams as he fixes his shoe over on the sidelines.
Bundy Fulmer, a 6'1" junior. Franklin with the ball. A 2-2 tie. Anderton to the right wing, still out beyond three-point range. To the top of the key to Keith. Nate Keith's three-pointer is short. Ball deflected to Fulmer. Puts it off the glass, no good. Underneath, a foul called. A General McLane player pushing off. That's on Greg DeRay, his first.
The way Chris Peters was acting, it almost looked as if it was on him, but it was on DeRay that time.
So Franklin's Ryan Anderton will inbound. Anderton to Fulmer. He's free but does not take the shot this time. Right back to Ryan Anderton. The point guard looks out between the circles and passes out there to Nate Keith. Left to Nathan Hager. Looks into the corner. Passes up Fulmer. Now passes it to Bundy. Bundy from 15 feet. Tries to get around Peters. He's picked up by Polk. Out to Anderton, driving the paint. Floating one-hander doesn't go. Rebound by Peters of General McLane. Hargest leading the way down court for the Lancers, right to left. To the right wing, loses the ball away. David Polk comes over and picks it up. Polk back to Hargest. Hargest is trying to direct traffic. It's Polk in the right corner, feeding inside. DeRay puts it up wild. Peters gets the offensive board. Stripped away by Fulmer. Peters goes and gets it. Peters trapped in the left corner. Gets help from Josh Hargest. Back outside to Kushner. David Kushner double teamed at the right wing, and Hargest will take the pass at the point. 3:22 left in the first quarter. A 2-2 ball game. Right wing, this is Peters. Down low to the post to Polk. Turnaround jumper missed. Ball nearly taken away by Franklin. They'll give it to Franklin. Lear blocked a little bit. I thought Nate Keith may have lost that out of bounds. Apparently a General McLane player got in and poked it away. We'll know when we watch the game Sunday night. The Venango video crew is here. This game will be aired on a tape delay Sunday night at 8 o'clock on Venango Video Channel 6.
So far, Franklin has had the best of it offensively. They simply haven't been able to make anything. McLane is having some difficulty penetrating Franklin's defense.
McLaughlin from the outside. The shot is missed off the far side of the iron, and the rebound taken away by DeRay. Bundy Fulmer came racing in, but DeRay snagged it a half second before he got there. Three-point attempt by Hargest off to the right. Polk with the rebound, and he lays it in. David Polk with the offensive board and the turnaround move that puts McLane back ahead. It's 4-2.
Yeah, that's where Polk is so dangerous. He's so strong and physical inside. If he can get position, he will simply kill you inside.
Bundy at the foul line, feeds McLaughlin underneath, and John ties the score. Fulmer may have been able to take the shot from the foul line. McLaughlin was driving. Nobody else was underneath. John took the head fake when a defender did get back and then banked it up and in. We're tied at 4. Here's Kushner left side against John Getz, who's in there now. Bounce pass to the right to Hargest. Hargest with Anderton trailing him. Now a switch, and Hargest floats one up and in. Well, Nate Keith made the switch on defense, and Hargest threaded his body up underneath Keith and put it up one-handed. Yeah, 6'4" McLane.
Great shot by Hargest that time. You have to give the kid credit. He had to blunder Keith one-handed.
Anderton around to Hargest, gets to the left corner, comes back out with the dribble. Hooks a pass to the left. Nate Keith there. Keith driving on DeRay. Jumper left baseline. He gets the roll, and we're tied again. 6-6. A minute 35 left in the first quarter. Hargest Hargis calling the shots from the backcourt now. Picked up at the midcourt circle by Ryan Anderton. Left to Polk, one dribble, shoots over McLaughlin, wild right. Fulmer fighting for the rebound. Bundy is fouled. Well, you can tell already it's an emotional crowd. General McLane thought there should have been a jump ball or a travel. Franklin fans roaring their approval with the call. The foul on Greg Doré, his third team foul on General McLane.
So far in this first quarter, the officials are in the game. They're making the calls as they see them. They're making them consistent.
Jeff Leffert in the ball game for the Knights now. So is Dave Smith, so is Andy Shalott. No starters in there. Smith free underneath, and he lays it up and in. Again, the assist is by Bundy Fulmer, and Dave Smith gets the layup to put Franklin up by a score of 8-6. Racing the ball to the right wing is David Kushner. He finds Josh Hargis. John Getz on him now. Getz will be called for the hacking foul. Just a half second late on the call is official Dan Clark, but the call is right. That's the third foul on Franklin. First foul on John Getz.
I don't know how you can make these calls, Tim. We've been told we can't see up here.
We are high above Macomb Fieldhouse, Edinburgh University. Here's another foul. David Polk takes the inbounds pass. Fulmer and Shalott converge, and the foul apparently is going to go on, well, must have been Andy Shalott. I thought Fulmer was there first. Andy gets the foul, his first, fourth on the Knights. 49 seconds left in the first quarter. McLane trailing Franklin by 2, inbounding to Polk. Spin move, he misses. Put it up over Dave Smith. The shot would not go, and Franklin goes out of bounds with the ball. Jeff Leffert came away with the basketball, went down to one knee, and when his right leg snaked out, I hope it's the right leg because we'll see this on Venango video Sunday night, his foot was out of bounds. Inbounding again to Polk. Polk threading his way between two players. Shot doesn't go. He gets it back. One-hander, no good. And Polk knocks it away and may be called for the foul. David Polk with a third effort, missed both of his shots, then tried to slap the ball away, is called for the foul, his first. We've had 4 personals each way. 33 seconds left in the first quarter. Franklin with the ball, leading 8-6. Leffert between the circles, picked up by Hargis. Leffert looking for some motion. Andy Shalott will take the pass on the left side. Now right to Getz. Over to Fulmer, down to 20 seconds. Bundy's free, Franklin's holding the ball. Now Bundy shoots, comes up short. And a foul on the Franklin Knights. Bundy hesitated a little bit too much, wondering, should we play for one or should I take the shot? He thought about it too long, and the foul's going to go on John Getz, his second. He was beaten to the basketball on the rebound attempt. General McLane, trailing by 2, will inbound with 15 seconds left in the first quarter. The ball comes into Josh Hargis. Hargis against Getz. Hargis pushing it off. Getz goes down, no call, and Hargis misses the shot from the left corner. And now a whistle at the other end. Now there's a foul on General McLane as Jeff Leffert was leveled on the other side. This may go on Chris Peters, the McLean center.
Yeah, there were 2 fouls there. Hargis gave an elbow out early on the left when the play started, and then I think that was on Chris Peters, his second.
Getz from 30 feet at the buzzer, off the back iron, no good. That, by the way, was the second foul on Chris Peters. That's the end of the first quarter. Franklin 8, General McLean 6. Back in 90 seconds on 1450 WFRA. lays it off the glass and in, and the Knights are up by 4. It's 10-6.
Yeah, David Polk was holding the block.
Gets it back. A McLane player is free under the bucket, and he misses the shot. That was R.J. English, just in to start the second quarter, could not get it to go. Anderton will be called for the offensive foul. Anderton put the elbow out. English took the fall. That's foul number 2 on Ryan Anderton.
Yeah, that was a tough call. I'm not saying it was a bad call, but Ryan Anderton has 2 fouls with 6:59 to go in the second quarter. We don't want to see Ryan Anderton get in foul trouble and have to go to the bench.
7 fouls on the Franklin Knights. By the way, John Getz is getting ready to report in. Next defensive foul, McLane will go to the line for 1-1. Kushner bounce pass right side, driving and being blocked is English. Ball's loose, out of bounds, off McLane. Franklin will get it.
Yeah, Franklin should have got that ball. Was off McLane, but Franklin had the rebound off the block shot, and the Franklin player's arms were grabbed. I believe that was John McLaughlin.
All right, Chris Peters back into the ball game, replacing R.J. English, who saw about a minute of playing time. Peters had picked up his second foul just before the end of the first quarter. This is the District 10 AAA Boys Basketball Championship game. Franklin up 10-6 early in the second quarter. Bounce pass inside. Getz taking it from Hager. Can't make it go. Gets the rebound. Turnaround off the side of the backboard. No good. Here comes McLane with the ball, moving right to left. Gets in for Anderton, sitting on the bench with 2 fouls. To the post to Peters. Peters inside Williams. It won't go. Sam Williams would not give him the room. Williams off to Keith as Franklin comes away with it. An interception by McLane, but the player that stole the ball, Josh Hargis, stepped on the out-of-bounds line right in front of his own bench, and Franklin will keep possession.
Sam Williams is just doing an outstanding job on the board. He is down there getting beat to a pulp, and he's giving it right back to the big guys for McLane.
McLaughlin going baseline, short, one-handed jumper left side, good. Franklin up by 6, 12-6. And a half dozen of Franklin's dozen points have been scored by 6'5" senior John McLaughlin. Foul called. Getz hanging on Hargis. And that's going to be 3 fouls on John Getz. Right now, even though he hasn't scored in the ball game, well, he's scored 1 field goal. Josh Hargis is causing the most problems because the Franklin point guards are getting into some foul trouble over there. Anderton already sitting down with 2. Getz has 3. Andy Shalott checks into the ball game. At 5'10", we normally see the junior banging his way inside. But it appears that unless Nate Keith goes out into the backcourt, Shalott will be helping bring the ball up. The free throw is missed. That was the first foul shot taken tonight. Hargis couldn't make it go. Williams batted the ball away, and here comes Franklin. Hager off to McLaughlin in the left corner. McLaughlin working on Polk. David Polk doesn't give him baseline. Cross-court lob pass saved by Andy Shalott of the Knights. Outside, right side, Shalott looking left, passing now to McLaughlin. To Keith, back to McLaughlin, shoots for 3. Off the back iron, no good. Rebound Franklin, whistle underneath. Nathan Hager put it up and in. Foul's called. So far, no indication. Will they give him the bucket? I'm not even sure the official that called the play knew whether or not the shot went in. They called it on the rebound and not the shot, so no field goal. It's foul number 1 on David Kushner of General McLane. Franklin to inbound. Nathan Hager just does get it into John McLaughlin. He'll give it out to Nate Keith deep. Keith to the left wing. Jumper is missed. Rebound Franklin. Nathan Hager, 1 dribble. He's blocked from behind. McLaughlin with the offensive rebound puts it up and in. Franklin 14, McLane 6. 5:12 left until halftime. General McLane coach Andy Schultz wants a timeout. Again, 5:12 till the intermission. Knights 14, Lancers 6. We'll be back in 60 seconds on 1450 WFRA. Franklin in the second quarter. More than 5 minutes left till halftime. The Knights pressing as McLane brings the ball up court right to left. Hargis into the forecourt, hands off to a new player. That's senior guard Kevin Fromnick. To the right side, McLane loses the ball out of bounds.
That is about the 5th or 6th turnover for McLane here. They're making mistakes that they haven't made against the other teams that they have played, and it's up to Franklin to capitalize.
Nathan Hager controlling the basketball for the Knights. He's in there with McLaughlin, Shalott, Williams, and Nate Keith. They try to go backdoor to Nate Keith, and Chris Peters of General McLane read it all the way. Here comes Hargis for the Lancers. Float layup is good. Off-balance shot straight at the net. Did not use the backboard, put it over the front of the rim, and puts McLane to within 6 at 14-8. Franklin, I believe, had scored the last 10 points of the game. Williams, low post, turnaround in and out, no good. McLaughlin nearly has it. Ball is loose. There's a scramble. Jump ball. And the basketball will belong to the General McLane Lancers. Brian Anderton is coming back in for the Knights. He's replacing Andy Shalott.
Yeah, I think Coach Hager said, well, we've got the lead now. I need to bring Ryan in, but I will tell you what he told Ryan. When you drive to the basket, put the brakes on, go up for the shot. Don't try to take it to the basket. Stay back just a hair defensively.
Well, here's David Polk controlling the ball in the backcourt. That's really the first time that he's maneuvered the ball since those 3 turnovers right at the start of the ball game. He'll hand off to Hargis. Hargis will bring it across the timeline. Now to a post down low to Polk. Turnaround blocked by Williams. Nate Keith comes away with the ball for Franklin. Keith. Bounce pass to the post to Williams. The turnaround, no good. Sam nearly gets it back. He'll be called for the foul. Sam Williams just a mite over-aggressive on that one. He fouls Chris Peters in the backcourt. And Peters, who's listed as a 6'6 senior, might be 6'3 and a half, should go to the line for 1-1 for the Lancers.
That's the Lancers are in the one-on-one right now. Franklin is not in the one-on-one. Franklin has 9 fouls, 1 more to give, and the Lancers will be at that 2-shot limit when they commit their 10th foul here.
We'll explain that for those of you who are just joining our broadcast during the playoffs when we reach that point. Peters didn't appear to know that he was going to the line. He misses the front end of the 1-1, and McLane gets the rebound and travels. Greg DeRay went up high, so high that he came down off balance, fell back with the basketball, and Franklin will get it back, leading 14-8, just under 4 minutes until halftime.
It'll be interesting to see. Franklin's been able to sub. McLane has not subbed, and it looks like this could come down to a 4th quarter ball game if all the players can stay in the game.
3-point attempt, Nathan Hager missed to the left. DeRay with the rebound. He was the only one over on that side. McLane coming back with the basketball. That foul down at the other end was the first on Sam Williams, by the way. Here's Hargis working against Nathan Hager. Hager goes for the steal, draws the foul. And now we're into the super bonus. Beginning this year, with the 10th foul on your team, the other team goes to the line to shoot 2 every time. The 1-1 is only in effect on the 7th, 8th, and 9th fouls of a half as of this year. So Josh Hargis will go to the free throw line for McLane. Here are some offensive notes from the playoffs for McLane. Hargis has hit 11 3-point shots in 2 playoff games. He averaged 18 points a ball game during the regular season, has 28 and 20 for a 24-point average in the postseason. But David Polk also averaged 18 a game in the regular season. He had 26 in the opening win over Hickory and 18 against Erie East the other night. Polk has been held to 2 points. Hargis has 4 going for 5, and he has 5. Hits the first free throw, we'll have another one. Hargis and Polk combined for 73% of their team's playoff points in the first 2 games of this postseason round. Hargis connects again. Franklin 14, General McLane 10. Franklin with the ball. Fulmer's back in there. So is Leffert. Anderton at the point with it. Will pass it right to McLaughlin, defended by David Polk. To Fulmer, who's pushed and fouled. Bundy Fulmer will go to the free throw line. He'll have a 1-1 opportunity, as that was the 7th foul on McLane. And Fulmer draws the foul against Josh Hargis, his first.
It's important for Fulmer to step up, make these foul shots, get that lead back up to 6 points.
The junior southpaw hit on only 5 of his 16 free throws during the regular season.